Joined by one of Fordham basketball's most versatile playmakers in recent memory, a gifted shooter and rebounder, an A10 champion, and winner of the 2019 Claire and Jack Hobbs Award. Mary Goulding joins us. Mary, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
We're really happy to have you on. A tremendous athlete in your time at Fordham, and obviously it's been a difficult time for everybody. You just started your pro career, and then the COVID-19 pandemic. So how are you holding up? And you've already told me you're back in New Zealand.
Yes, yeah, I came back to New Zealand once the pandemic hit. But I'm doing well, I think, and, staying fit, staying healthy, doing what you can during this time.
Coach Gately has famously recruited New Zealand and Australia and Fiji and that area of the world very well. When you decided you were going to transfer from Gillette College in Wyoming, when did it become clear Fordham was the right place for you?
That's a really good question. I think when I came on campus and after my visit, so I was already intrigued and I really got along with the coaches, the ones that I talked to before I came to visit. And then on arrival, the coaching staff was awesome and the campus is incredible. I talked to different people in terms of what to study, the advisory committee, and I think I saw Dave Roach and, certain people that just explain kind of the opportunities available at Fordham. And I think just on conclusion of the visit, I knew that it was a place that I wanted to commit to.
I think people naturally think, okay, a transfer from New Zealand in the same area as another Atlantic 10 champion in Erin Rooney. Had you ever come across her in your time leading into that, or did Coach Gately say, hey, we've got another Fern just like you, maybe you should talk to her, any of that?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, Coach Gately was very open and it was great. She said, one of her first things she said was that we've had another Kiwi and to reach out to her. So I did reach out to Erin. She actually she didn't go to school with my sister, but she played against my sister in football, so soccer. And I think they kind of knew each other. And I reached out to her and got a lot of feedback, which was really, really helpful. I think that was also another reason why I committed was Erin's, reports on Fordham, but also all the questions I had, she kind of replied with essays, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want one-worded answers. So she was really awesome and really helpful.
Mary, I was asking Coach Gately to maybe give me a story, and she said maybe you could elaborate on this. She said your Fordham career really started at a 5:30 Saturday mass.
Yeah, so my first year, my sophomore year, I was struggling a little bit, and it was definitely an adjustment. And there was just a time where I got to the point where I was like, I just don't know what to do. Like everything that I'm working on, and I'm working hard, doing extra workouts, going to see coaches, doing everything that I physically could, and I wasn't seeing any progress. And so normally I would go to mass on the Sunday, but for some reason I just was like, you know what, I'm going to go to the mass in Dealey Chapel on Saturday night. And I went, and Coach Gately happened to be there as well. And so then after the mass, I was just like, okay, well, what an opportunity to talk to her and ask her, she is the coach, what I can do to improve it and to see the floor. And, I'd had a bit of an up and down season before that, and I'd got sick just a couple of weeks before I'd got the stomach bug, missed a couple of games. And then when I came back, I just wasn't playing, and so I talked to her and I asked her like, oh, what can I do? And I remember her saying, I want the old Mary back. And I looked at her and I was like, me too. That makes two of us. She's like, I don't know where the Mary I recruited has gone. She's like, I don't, doubt your work ethic or how hard you're working, but it's just like, that fire has gone. And I was like, yeah, I can understand that because I feel the same way. And she said, well, I want to get that back. and you know, we were just talking about, you know, different things, and she said, how about we have a clean slate? So she's like, how about, you know, you've got tomorrow, you know, Sunday we don't train. She's like, you've got tomorrow to just relax, you know, get in a different headspace. And then she said, come Monday, clean slate, you know, we're starting again. And I was like, I would love that. Like, that would be perfect. And so she's like, okay, awesome. You know, that's what we're going to do. You know, great chat. Like, see you, Mary. And I was like, okay, perfect. So then come Monday, it was a new slate, and then, yeah, just took off from there.
It all started at church. This is the Jesuit tradition personified.
Yeah.
Mary, this is a long way from A to Z, but by the time you graduate as a senior, you're all Atlantic 10. You are the most outstanding player at the Atlantic 10 tournament. You always seem to play your best in big games, but describe that week in Pittsburgh that left such an indelible legacy on the program.
I think I love to relive it. This is great. Great question.
Bring it. Let's do it.
Because that was the best week ever. I remember, I don't want to skip ahead, but I remember winning the championship, and I looked at Lauren, and I thought I was dreaming. I was like, it's not possible to feel this happy, or to be, you know, to experience this amount of joy. And like, I was so proud of the team and everything we'd accomplished. Everything just like, it just peaked and like exploded. And I never want to ever forget this feeling. You know, but in build up to it that week, I was, you know, co-captain with Lauren Holden, and she was my roommate, which was pretty awesome. And I just remember, you know, being in the same room, and we would talk, you know, every night, sort of thing. And it was always kind of like the same thing. We'd just be like, we've got this, you know, we're here to win. And Lauren, and I'd be like, no, Lauren, I 100% believe it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. She's like, no, I agree. We're here to win, Mary. And it was just like, you know, the same thing after, you know, the game, would, you know, think about the next one and just be like, no, we're better than them. Our team is better than them. You know, like, everything was just so positive. Everything was so like, you know, we've got this, no doubt whatsoever, that it was just expected. You know, we expected ourselves to win. It wasn't a surprise. You know, going into the game, it was like we'd already won in our heads. We already knew we could do it. So it was just a matter of, you know, putting it out on the floor. And we knew, you know, if everyone was focused, everyone was on the same page, and, you know, bought into, you know, to what Coach Gately was asking of us, you know, everyone on the same page, there was no way we were going to lose. And so it just happened, you know, each day, you know, we were getting the wins, and we were just like, yeah, I mean, you know, we were super, of course, excited to win like each game, but we weren't surprised. You know, it wasn't, you know, I was just like, yep, nope, this is what we came to do. This is what we're going to do. And then it came to the semi-final, and we were like, nope, this is perfect. You know, then they started aligning it with the last time they won, and how similar, like, we were wearing the same uniforms, like maroon, and that they blew out the team in the semi-final. And so there were a lot of like correlations between the last time they won, the A10s. And I kind of was like, oh, that's cool. But I was like, that's not why, like, we're winning or anything. I was like, that's funny, like, it's ironic. But, you know, when it came to the final, I remember it was actually before the semi-final, VCU and Dayton were playing. So they were playing the semi-final, and Dayton were actually up. And I remember looking at Lauren and being like, Lauren, I don't want to play Dayton. We've already played Dayton. We've already beaten them. Like, I want to play VCU. You know, we need our revenge on VCU. And I want, you know, I don't want anyone, when we win that title, I don't want anyone to doubt it. And I don't want anyone saying, oh yeah, but we beat them in pool play. You know, I want to beat every single team in the Atlantic 10 and get that championship. And she was like, Mary, I'm the same. She's like, I want to play VCU as well. And so, you know, we went into the locker room to get the talk or something, and then we come out, and, you know, there's 30 seconds or whatever before our semi-final, and VCU are so close. And then they pull it out at the end, and I just look at Lauren and I was like, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. And, you know, we go out, we win the semi-final, and then that night we go home, and I look at her and she's like, yep. See, it was meant to happen. We were meant to play VCU. We're going to win tomorrow. And I was like, you know, of course we are. Yeah. And so then come game day, and I remember warming up And it was just, yeah, like I didn't really care about them. It sounds bad, but I didn't care what they were doing. I didn't care what they were saying in their huddle. I was like, I only knew what our plan was, and to stick to it, and just have that confidence that we belonged and that we were going to win.
Yeah, more than just belonged. And, I'm always interested. I do a lot of broadcast of international events, and so often you get a winner's medal. Is a ring a common championship kind of a thing to have in New Zealand, and where's yours now?
No, not at all. It's actually quite funny because I never really heard of it until I went to America, and then at my junior college in Wyoming, we won, and so I got this ring, and I was like, I remember them sending out the thing like, oh, which one do you prefer or something, and I'd never seen like the like I don't know what it comes out like, the print sort of thing that where they sent, and I was like, oh, like I like this one and this one, and I didn't know they were separate. I thought it was all the same. I was really confused, and then like one of the girls replies to me and goes, Mary, like all the ones that you clicked are the same ring, and I was like, wait, what? How? Because there's 3 different faces, and she's like, no, one of them's the top face, and then you've got one on the side, and then you've got one on the other side. I was like, how big is this ring? I was like, what the heck? And so then I got that one, and I was like, whoa, it's huge. So then I kind of understood the ring concept. But I actually went to one of my friends' places just recently. We had like a basketball gathering because I've been playing for a local team here, and I wore my Fordham Championship ring. And I was there, and all of them were like, "Oh, wait, Mary, can I see that?" And so I take it off. It goes around the circle, and they're like, "Oh, this is so cool!" So like, it's super awesome. Like, I like it that it's a ring because I'm a ring person. Like, I like to wear rings, and it's easy to show somebody, or like people can look at it, and it's a reminder. Whereas if it's like a medal or something, the only time they're ever going to see that is if they come to your house and you've got it hanging up. Whereas a ring's kind of cool because, you can pull it out whenever you want. You can wear it. You can have it on your, table. You can see it every day, but you can also take it with you. It's just, yeah, I like the ring, and yeah, it's on my bedside table. I wear it every now and then.
You just need more imagination. Anyone can be a metal person too. It's just a little rude.
You just gotta rock it, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't think I'm there yet.
Mary, I want to talk about your pro career. You go to Australia, perform well. You go to Sweden, and you perform well. How did Fordham specifically prepare you for that transition? Other players in recent years have gone on to have lengthy and at times distinguished professional careers overseas. But for you, how have you transitioned into that, and how did playing at Fordham help you get there?
I think it was definitely different. I think, professional is not the same as college. You don't get the same kind of one-on-one with the coaches. It's not as much attention to detail. It's not as coached. It's more, player, when you're on the court, it's not so much the plays you run. You don't really look at the coach and be like, okay, what play are we running? Or, that sort of thing. It's, you kind of read the game. It's more in the moment. But I think, Fordham prepared me in a number of ways. One being understanding the game. I think, Coach Gately, we ran a lot. We were able to adapt to different teams. We scouted. And so I learnt, how to pick up on different things with different players, what their strengths are, if they're left-handed, if they, only shoot from one side of the court. So I think scouting was new to me, and when I first arrived at Fordham, but once I left, it was, kind of ingrained, scouting. And by the time you reach professional, you don't have a team doing that for you. You have to do it yourself. You kind of have to do your own scouting. Occasionally, maybe the coach might have scouted some players, but it depends on what you want, and so I would look at some games and I might do some extra scouting just for myself. And put up sort of a scouting report, write it down, just for me. I'd share it with some of the teammates if they wanted. Like, it's quite self-motivated. Like, you have to motivate yourself, or you do a lot of things by yourself. as opposed to at college where things are kind of given to you, or other people do it for you. But I think it also, I've always been quite a hard worker, but I think different things at Fordham, maybe just how hard I work there has kind of translated to professional as well. So, getting in for those extra workouts, knowing that I can fit things into my day, and, being busy at Fordham has allowed me, now I'm a professional athlete, that, I want to be busy, or I know I can work out more. I know I can fit things into my day because I've done it before, and what else? I think they valued a lot of leadership at Fordham, and I definitely left a better leader than when I first arrived. And I definitely think that's one big thing that I've taken from Fordham is the leadership skills and empathy and being able to relate to team members. I really loved my team at Fordham, but everyone came from different areas, and it was important to be there for your teammates, and I made an effort to get to know my team individually, and so that I could understand what they're going through or how I can help them. And I think that's been good for when I leave and now that I'm playing in different countries, because I'm exposed to different cultures, to different people, and so having that kind of background of already kind of getting to know different people and learning stuff about them, I think it's helped me to adapt into different teams and find myself and kind of get along with teammates, even if they're from different cultures or might be different to me. So yeah, I think I definitely took that from Fordham as well.
Everyone wants to be able to play basketball long after school ends, and for you, you've done that professionally. You've also done that at an international level. You had some experience in that realm, but in 2019, you step into the senior national team for New Zealand. What's that like, having your country on your chest to represent your country at the highest possible levels? It's
been a dream since I was perhaps maybe 8 years old. I always wanted to, that was kind of my goal, was I don't know what sport, at the time I played a lot of different sports. And
You're
so I was
good at all of them.
Well, I just hadn't picked which one I loved the most yet. And I was like, I don't know what sport it is, but I know I want to represent New Zealand. And so as I grew up, I thought it was going to be netball, which is a big sport in New Zealand. And I was like, okay, I want to be a silver fern. And then all of a sudden it changed to basketball. And then ever since I changed to basketball, it's like, I want to be, like on the tall ferns. I really want to represent my country, because I think it's important, because I'm proud of my country. I'm, proud to be a New Zealander, but also just, to play the sport that I love and then for my country. It's just, an incredible achievement, but also honor. And, I still would love that opportunity to come again. And, I'm working towards that. But yeah, when I got that, call up in last year, I was ecstatic. It was, the best news I could ever receive. And I couldn't believe it had happened. It was a dream, but I didn't know if it was really a dream that could be achieved. And so the fact that it was, words can't really explain how, grateful I am for that opportunity. It was just, awesome.
Well, you've been a tremendous pride to the Fordham basketball program and to Fordham University on the whole. And I'll close with this. So many people put unique Zoom backgrounds in, virtual backgrounds. If you could put one location at Fordham outside of the Rose Hill Gym behind you, where would you be right now?
That's a really good question. I feel like the most iconic place, everyone would say, Keating, but I mean, because everyone knows that it's Fordham as soon as you've got Keating in the background. But I'm trying to think.
I feel like that's a shot from Eddie's, not actually one of the classrooms. Is that a fair
Yeah,
assessment?
yeah, and I'm kind of like thinking, I'm trying to think of the place that I spent. I was like thinking the bleachers. I was like, I ran the bleachers a lot. I really like the view from the top of the bleachers. But I was like, I don't know. It's hard to capture the whole of Fordham, you know, and I don't know. I think I'd just, and you said I can't be inside the gym. Darn
No.
it. Can be outside the gym?
Fair enough.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think that does it. Very much on brand. It's very much your style to be in and around the gym. Mary,
Yeah.
thanks for the time. Where can people follow along with your career, and where are you headed next?
I mean, I try to actually keep up to date on Facebook or Instagram, really. I post pictures of where I am on Instagram. I like to travel around Europe, and that's usually where I have updates. So yeah, I would say either Instagram or Facebook.
All right. Well, as for us, we'll continue to have interviews and updates. Like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram for Fordham Athletics, and of course, continue to follow FordhamSports.com for the latest. Mary, appreciate the time. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.